Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Ritz and today's video is about reading Slump, where I give you recommendations of 10 books which is going to get you out of a reading slump within a snap of a finger. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first book that I would be talking about is T.J. Klune's The House in the Cerulean Sea. Yes, I have forever voted for this book and I have never stopped recommending this book because of a reason. This book is the best book that you'll ever read, guys, ever. So in The House in the Cerulean Sea, we come across a character called Linus Baker who works for the extremely upper management of magical people, where he goes and visits orphanages and he inspects them whether they are run properly or not, and then he finally provides a report to the upper management whether the orphanage should stay there or should it be closed. So one fine day, Linus is called by the extremely upper management and has been provided with a very classified field job where he needs to go to the orphanage of the Marsyas Island. There are six children, magical children, and something fishy is going on. So Arthur goes there and he tries his best to do the job impartially, and then whatever goes on, it's a whole different story. I swear, guys, you're going to love this book. And if you're in a reading slump, I think a little bit of whimsy and magical elements thrown here and there is exactly what you need. I think this book has both normal people as well as magical people, so there is a very well balance. And the chapters are short and they're very entertaining, and you're going to laugh your heart out. Trust me on this. The next book got me out of a reading slump because I wanted something calm and quiet and slower paced, because I read mostly I read fast paced novels. So I had a change of mind and I started reading The Henna Artist by Alka Joshi. This book is featured in 1950, so it is a historical fiction and revolves around a woman named Lakshmi who escapes from an abusive marriage and runs away to settle in Jaipur, where she becomes the henna artist of the elites of Jaipur, where she is the person who knows all the dark secrets and scandals that goes on in the Jaipur upper class society, whereas she tries to hide her own to stay in that circle. I think this is an extraordinary book that all women especially should read, because it is a struggle of the 1950s and not much has changed, and you're going to see how difficult it is for a woman to survive in a man's world. Now, if you are in a mood for some romance, I would highly suggest to read Daisy Jones and the Six. Firstly, because it is not elaborate, it is it feels like a Netflix documentary, so it's question answer format. It's an interview that goes on, and that is through the interview you get to know the whole story of Daisy Jones and the Six, which is a band. Now, why I love this book is because it is very crisp and to the point. You do not have to struggle with the chapters because they are short, but they are very well written, and the characters are multidimensional, and you're going to love the characters, the complexities of this book. Daisy Jones is a neglected child of very hippie parents, and she therefore slowly starts venturing out to drugs and music and alcohol and the hippie life. Finally, she collaborates with the band called The Six, where she starts writing songs for them and sings along with the main male lead, who is Billy. And there she falls in love with Billy, and there is the star-crossed lover scene that goes on because Billy is already married and have children, and therefore it is a very complex story, and you would love Daisy Jones if you're in a reading slump, because you're going to finish it off within a day or two. It's that good. Now, if you are in mood for fantasy, I would highly suggest to read Darker Shades of Magic by Ray Schwab, because it is not a complex world where you have to use your brain a lot to understand what is going on. It is something that is very easily understandable. I think even I would suggest A Darker Shades of Magic for anyone who wants to start in the fantasy genre and has never read anything fantasy before. So in the darker shades of magic, there are four Londons overlapping each other in like a multi-dimensional world where there is Black London, which was once magical but now destroyed completely. There's Red London where magic is thriving and everything is pretty good. The subjects and the kings and queens, they are pretty good to each other. It's a very nice place to stay. Then there is Grey London, which is our normal London in this world where magic is not there. And there is White London where there are magic, but that place is so cold. Um, most people are not magical. The magic is slowly dying away. Grey London, the magic is died. In White London, the magic is slowly drying away. So the few people who have magic, they try to either gain more magic for themselves, or they become the victim because someone else wants to take magic from them. So these are the four Londons. Now the most powerful magician of these four worlds are called the Antares, who can travel between each world. Now Kelmarish is one of such Antares, and they are very few in number, and he is not only an Antari, he is the brother of the would-be king, who is right now Prince Rai, and he is also a smuggler. So he keeps smuggling things from this world to the other, and so on and so forth. And one such smuggling event goes haywire, and the whole four worlds comes crumbling down because of that one messy smuggling deal. So I highly suggest you read this book, as it is filled with action-packed scenes. The chapters are small. You're going to find pirates and magicians and cruel kings and queens, and it's amazing. The next book, I have recently come across this book, and this book literally had me by the throat, guys. I was completely taken aback by how good this book was. So this book is none other than Brother by Anya Albon. Now this book deals with cannibalism. So let me give you that spoiler, because I do not want anyone to dive into this book without knowing that. So this book deals with cannibalism, so tread with care. Now the thing is, this is a family where who stays in forest area of US. Their girls goes missing, and this whole family, they are serial killers. Okay, the mother is a serial killer, the brother is a serial killer. Now father is a serial killer. Only I think the sister isn't, but she's also a little bit nuts in the head. Now there is this youngest son of the family who's known as Michael Morrows, and Michael Morrows doesn't quite feel like he's made of the same elements. He doesn't relish the screams, he doesn't like the blood bath, he doesn't like any of that. Rather, he dreams of escaping from everything one fine day and move to maybe New York or Honolulu. Now Michael Morrows finally falls in love with a girl who works in the town, and she is the first love of his life. And his brother, Michael's brother Raymond, is one of a kind, and he was planning something very special for Michael's birthday. And what happens next is like, it blew my mind. The ending of the story is amazing. The book is not very well written, it's averagely written, but I swear the storyline is so good. If you are looking for some cheap thrills and some extreme horror, this book is definitely for you. The next book is My Sister, the Serial Killer by Oencom Braithwaite. Now I might have pronounced the author's name wrong. I'm sorry, I apologize. So this story is about Coredi and Ayula. These are the two sisters. Coredi is the elder sister, Ayula is the younger. Now Ayula keeps on calling Coredi time and again, and she calls her for one thing. She calls her to clean up her mess. She calls her to clean up the murders that she has done in name of self-defense. So all of her boyfriends end up dead because somehow they try to harm her and she tries to self-defend them. That's her story. And Coredi is a nurse. Now one fine day, and Ayula is very pretty, whereas Coredi is not. Now one fine day, Coredi sees her sister flirting with the guy she likes. So now she knows that this guy is also going to end up dead, because that's what happens to all of Ayula's boyfriends. Now, what should she do? Should she save the guy who she's in love with, or should she save her sister? Because saving one means killing the other. And therefore, I highly suggest read this book. Very small chapters, fast-paced novel, and therefore you're going to finish it off in a jiff. The next book, which is definitely going to get you out of a reading slump, is Finlay Donovan is Killing It by Erika Sumano. If you have not heard of Finlay Donovan is Killing It, which world are you living in? Because it's a very famous book. Here, Finlay Donovan is a writer. She writes novels, and one day she meets with her editor and discusses the plot of her next story, like what she wants to write about, which is a thriller novel. There, while she was discussing the plot with the editor, a woman sitting in the nearby table hears the plot and thinks that Finlay is a hit woman, and she kills people for money. And therefore, she contacts Finlay to kill her husband. Now, Finlay, just humoring herself, goes to see what happens and what is this whole shit about. Why is this woman asking her to kill her husband? Because she wants to see what did the husband do, and she was just curious. And the things that happen, the way she ends up in a mess, it is hilarious. It is hilarious, guys. It's the very funny book that I have read, and I highly suggest you read it if you are in a reading slump and need a good laughter. The next book that I have for you is Age of Vice by Dipti Kapoor. Now, this is a very recently published book, and I absolutely love it. And I think it is going to be a series because the story continues. This book is about Delhi, New Delhi, and its political pressure and social pressure, and all those politics and everything that goes on in Delhi, which is really not that great. Okay, so here we talk about Ajay, who is a family servant, and how he starts serving Sunny, who is a multimillionaire heir of a particular company, and the company is dicey. And how their connections together, how these two roll around each other, and how their life changes. And it is also about Neda, who is a journalist who is caught between these two, and how the three of them, how their path is paved together. Maybe it is paved for a better future, or maybe it's paved for destruction that no one can stop. So this book I highly suggest, guys, read this. A very fast-paced action thriller. It gives you the vibe of The White Tiger. It will give you the vibe of that. So if you liked that book, or if you have liked the movie, which is in Netflix, I think it is a Netflix movie, do read this book. This is really an amazing book. The next and the last book in this list is Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. If you haven't heard of this book, give it a try. This book is going to give you Knives Out feeling. You know what I mean? Avery has never been a part of anything high status or high social, but somehow one day she discovers that she ends up owning a multimillionaire business, along with all the real estates and everything, because someone, an old fellow, before dying, has named her the heir. Why? No one knows. There are three successful heirs as well who were ready to take the ownership of the estates and the business, but it all went to Avery. And this book has got games and puzzles and schemes to murder Avery. Everything is there, scandals, and those three heirs, all of them are very good looking. That's a bonus, and you would love it. The chapters are small, but it gives you a really cozy mystery vibe. So definitely go for Inheritance Game. Okay guys, with that we come to the end of the video, and I hope you like it. I hope you have found some book which is going to help you out with your reading slump. And if you have already been in a reading slump and some of the books did not meet the list which helped you out of a reading slump, do mention them in the comment section. I would really love to read them as well. Till then, have a great day ahead. Bye.